Welcome to our first video. David, Daniel.
David.
That was backwards. Daniel.
David.
At Launch Labs. And we had a very cool experience to be able to go to Orlando and go to our first PGA show. And it was quite an experience. I would say when we first got there, it was pretty overwhelming.
There's a lot going on.
We spent probably on the first day 4.5, 5 hours, not rushing, not going crazy, but taking our time, and we got through maybe 40% of the show. So pretty overwhelming, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of tech, a lot of clubs, a lot of simulators, a lot of brands. And our objective was to go and look for 3 things for us. First was the technology, what technology is coming out. Second was frictionless training aids. We co-founded a space that is a self-serve, remotely staffed golf sim club, and it's important for us that anything that we offer to our members and anybody that comes in, even the guests, that if they use a training aid, that it shouldn't need a lot of training to use the training aid. It should be pretty plug and play, pretty self-serve. And then the third thing was surrounding around any cool brands. There's a lot of golf brands out there right now, and I'm sure all of you get inundated with it as well. But what was cool, what piqued our interest, and why? So we'll break those up into a few different sections.
Before the show, we actually went down and drove 2 hours of Palm Beach Gardens and checked out the TGL live. We saw, who did we see? We saw Jupiter and Los Angeles play. Really cool experience, trying to see a space that large that can fit 1,500 people with all the technology. Obviously, us being tech-based individuals, we kind of nerd out on that kind of stuff. First thing that kind of blew my mind was when you walk through the curtain, you're like literally right there. Like Tiger Woods is literally like 10 feet away from you. All the seating, all the rows, sections are about only 4 rows deep. So no matter where you sit in that facility, you're getting a great view of the action. We actually got seats that were closer to the green. So on the far side is where they hit into that mammoth screen. I don't even know what the dimensions are, maybe like 65 feet tall by who knows how wide. But we were on the other side of the green where it rotates 360 after every single hole. So just kind of seeing the technology move all that with the cameras, and it was just a really cool overall experience. Also, again, just being able to see Tiger and all those people you see on TV every week, just up close and seeing their skill set is pretty amazing. I don't know, what were your thoughts on the TGL, seeing it in person?
Yeah, it was, I wasn't sure what to expect. Actually, our background is a little bit in AV production, so we've seen a lot of cool stuff. And I wasn't sure how it was going to translate from television to an in-person situation, because it holds, what, 1,500-ish people? Yeah. So, like David said, we walked in and we were right in the mix. I mean, we were effectively on the green. That was really cool. I thought what was awesome is them trying to bring in with the production how much the crowd gets involved, how close you are, the music, the interaction with the crowd was pretty awesome. Because it was Jupiter, they definitely had the home crowd to their advantage versus LA, which is obviously completely on the other side of the state. So it was pretty cool.
And we got to see the first ever albatross in TGL history. So Justin Rose hit I don't even remember, 260-yard shot with an iron and bounce in the hole and place one nuts. And it's just kind of cool to see professional golfers get like excited in that fashion, because you don't really watching around on TV throughout the weekend, and they don't show a ton of emotion, but they definitely let their guard down in the TGL. So you kind of see them chatting amongst each other, strategizing, and just having a good time. And when I'm at home and never able to catch it on TV, my favorite part of watching it on TV is just kind of hearing all the banter back and forth, because you don't get that on a normal weekend on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And side note for Launch Labs Golf, we got to see Justin Rose's first albatross of his career and the first albatross of TGL history. 2 hours later, we actually got a text from one of our members saying they hold out for an albatross. So, good omen? maybe, but it was the same night. First Albatross TGL, and for Justin Rose, first Albatross here at Launch Labs Golf. But overall, it was a really cool experience. Obviously, I think a lot of golfers would love to get that experience closer to home. Right now, it's only in Palm Beach in Florida at the SoFi Center. We'd love to see it in other places. A little hard to just pick it up and put it somewhere, but if you ever get the chance to go down, 2-hour drive from Orlando was a pretty easy drive. I would say it was worth it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see our club, the Bay, play. They played a few days later the next week, but we weren't there for that. But we did get to experience indoor golf on its largest stage, so definitely make sure to check it out. All right, put my hat on because they didn't have it for our TGL section, repping the Bay. But gonna talk more about some of the cool stuff that we saw. So to be very clear, we are not sponsored by anyone. If anyone does want to sponsor us, hit us up on Instagram and
send us a DM, we'll be happy.
We'd be happy to help. But these are purely, we're not influencers. We're very new to golf business, if you will. We love golf, but one of the benefits for us that we have found is being able to interact with the golf community and see really cool things. So now we're going to talk about some products. And one of the products that actually my brother-in-law told me, hey, you need to make sure you go see these guys, is a brand called Mileseey. And you might start seeing them or might have seen them a lot on your Instagram or your social feeds. A lot of people have been promoting their products. And if you're like us, you're probably wondering, is it a lot of hype? Is it really that good? What's going on with them? So Mileseey, there was 2 products that we really enjoyed checking out, and we actually got the opportunity to speak to the CEO and co-founder or founder of the company. And the first product is the Gene Pro G1, which is their traditional rangefinder, but also has a smart OLED screen that shows the actual course itself. And then the second product is the Gene Sonic Pro. So hopefully we're saying those correctly. But the first thing that I noticed on the Gene Pro G1, which is the rangefinder, is the glass was super clear. When you look through that thing and when you're in the Orange County Convention Center, that thing is 2 miles long if you're looking. So you're actually able to go target pretty far out and see how well it works. And that lens and the viewfinder was super clear. Then you got to see, obviously not live in the convention center, the actual course itself. The screen was super bright. There's tons of lights in the convention center. So I think one question people always have is, well, if it's bright outside, how is it going to work in the sun, direct light? And it worked pretty well. What'd you think about the rangefinder?
Yeah, I think the first thing for both the products that stuck out to me was the number of courses they have. It's like 40,000 plus, maybe even 45,000 in that range. And the other cool thing for me that I thought was there's no subscription fee. So it's like all the courses are there. You don't got to pay a monthly fee for it. You literally just purchase the item, and they're only $500 or less for these items. So they're definitely in range with everybody else in the market. But the big differentiator from the others we talked to is no subscription fee. So you get the product and you have all the courses, they update courses, you get it, no cost. I think that's a huge win. I personally like the Gene Sonic Pro, which was their, what would you say, 12-inch tall maybe?
Yeah, maybe
10,
at the
12
most.
inches.
Yeah.
Speaker / rangefinder / charging device. It had this magnet that was super powerful. Like, you literally had to take 2 handfuls and pull that thing off of something metal to get it off. So if you're driving around in a golf cart, it ain't coming off. Like, it's not going anywhere. The coolest thing I thought though is actually the GPS / rangefinder piece actually detaches from the speaker itself. And you could attach it to your belt, you put it in your pocket, and walk around. So if you don't play partner golf on the cart, like Dan likes to go left, I like to go right, you don't have to worry about, hey, let's drive the cart over and bring the rangefinder, or bring whatever to see with the distance. We can now both have our own individual device that sits in our pocket to give us the distances to the hole. So I thought that was super cool. I hadn't seen that before. That was ingenious, and that item was less than $300.
Yeah, speaker sounds super good. Magnet was crazy strong.
Super strong.
And we actually asked, David asked, hey, can we pair these? Can we get a second unit? And the separate range-finding unit is coming out, and that can be sold standalone. So David and I, we are planning a lot of golf together, and we definitely look forward to having a great speaker on the course, something that's not going to fall off the golf cart, and having our own detachable devices and GPS fobs, which is super cool. So I would say we haven't used them yet on the course. We'll create a follow-up video when we do. But I would say from the hype leading up to it to actually interacting, one with the team and then two with the actual products themselves, thus far, lived up to the hype. We thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, not sponsored by it, just trying to bring you cool, unbiased thoughts on what we saw at the PGA Show. So another question people have asked us about our time at the PGA Show was, what about all the clubs? And for us, we don't actually sell clubs at Launch Labs Golf. We actually want you to go to a fitter, get fitted properly. There's a ton of places, great places to go buy clubs. Not that we're not interested in them, but it's not part of our direct business model. So we definitely view clubs more as a fun preference for us as players. But one of the things that we actually did get to check out, and we got a little sneak peek even before the PGA Show, were the new Odyssey putters, the zero torque Odyssey putters that came out. And I will tell you, those things were pretty awesome. Right now, I'm playing a Ping Crazy. David, you're playing
TaylorMade Spider.
TaylorMade Spider. So two pretty popular putters. Definitely the Spider is super popular on tour and for golfers just around the world. Odyssey, I used to play Odyssey number 9 mid mallet. The zero torque shafts that they just came out with are awesome. They feel, I'm no putting specialist, but they felt amazing right out the gate. They felt great in your hands. They felt great through the swing through. They felt great when you were putting with them. And funny enough, the ones that David and I liked the best were center shafted. And obviously a very different look, very different feel, but felt really great to us. Definitely worth checking out, especially if you're into zero torque shafts, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, and the other items we saw that were kind of tech focused was the Genius ball. This is a smart ball that's coming out to help with your putting practice. So one of the things people ask us all the time is, hey, you got an indoor sim location, what's the putting like? Putting is okay, right? Like you could have it set up. We typically set up all of our bays to be auto putt, just because it speeds up the round and you don't really get that actual feel for what a true putt is like if you're outside. What the Genius ball does is it actually gives you all the data. So like when you go to a Trackman, you hit a shot, it's going to give you the spin rate, your distance, your club path, your club speed, etc. This does it as well, but in a ball format. So we think this is going to be a really cool kind of training tool. So we're really excited to see it come to market. I think they said it was coming out springtime-ish, so definitely keep an eye on it. It's called the Genius Ball. Anything you want to add on that one?
Yeah, we got to meet Stockton's father and son. Didn't know we were talking to the son when we were speaking to them, and he had me test it out. Got a little private putting clinic. I found out that I'm a terrible roller of the ball. I have way too much backspin on my ball, but that's kind of the idea with the ball, is to find out exactly what David said. Get all the information on your irons, your drivers, your wedges off a Trackman or off a simulator, but you don't really get that with putting, and the Genius ball will allow you to do that. We're super interested in it. Like we said, we went to the show looking for tech and looking for simple training aids, and this seems to be a simple training aid. This tech does require a subscription. That is going to be part of their business model. They haven't released those pricing pieces yet, but stay tuned for that. Tied to the training pieces that we talked about, putting is a huge thing. We all know that we should be putting more. We should be practicing our putting more. And simulators don't necessarily do the greatest job with them. But what we did look at, and again, you have probably seen this on your social feed, is something called Puttout. And the Puttout is really cool because it has these airbags that you can inflate and deflate and let you work on different rolls, either breaking right to left or left to right, and just have differing undulations within your putting green, if you will. So they had their first version come out. I think it's been out for a year, maybe a little over a year. We got to test it out when we went to our local Golf Galaxy, and it was really cool actually. Exceeded our expectations. But what they came out with at the PGA Show is a much larger one. I want to say it's 10 feet. 10 feet.
Yep.
10 feet, definitely longer, definitely takes up more space, a little bit wider if I remember correctly as well. So it just gives you more options to work on your putting. I think a lot of people have like a perfect putt or some type of putting mat, but this training aid, I mean, it's a no-brainer in the sense of you don't need any training. Open it up, set it up, press on the bags, deflate it. You can stand on it. It does come with a, what would you call it? Like a
platform?
Like a platform for you to stand on, so you're at the same height. Because a lot of people say, well, the putting surface is, 6 inches above where my feet are. No, it actually comes with the platform. It's pretty wide, very sturdy, and will allow you to get a lot of the putting pieces out there. You got to test it out. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, like you mentioned, we did test their 6-foot version over at a local Golf Galaxy store. We thought it was really cool. One of the things we're trying to figure out is how can we provide putting access at the facility to let people, kind of get some strokes in, practice that a little bit. Obviously, again, not going to mimic the outdoor space when it comes to an actual green, but this is actually really cool. Like Daniel mentioned, super easy to use. You literally, it's rolled out, you just pump air into it, and then it adds the undulation for you. So we think it's gonna be pretty cool. We're trying to figure out if it fits in our space, but definitely more to come on that. So as Launch Labs, Dale and I, as we were building out this business, we obviously, as you might imagine, went out and tested all the launch monitors, all the big name indoor facilities, and kind of just test out the technology. We landed on Trackman as what we personally feel is the best solution for an indoor space, especially a member-based solution that's 24/7. It's super easy to access. You come in, you QR code, save all your data, come play rounds, come practice. We have cameras in our bays as well, so you get that video feedback. But one of the reasons we went with Trackman as well was their investment into the indoor space. And one of the coolest things we saw at the show was what's coming out soon for them, which is their video AI.
We were all focused about tracking the ball.
Not only
because
do you
the
get
ball
that video feedback
flight, the trajectory is a result of how you're delivering the club to the ball. But how you're delivering the club to the ball is a result of how you're swinging the golf. Knowing and understanding what the body is doing is absolutely natural extension of what we have been working at the Trackman. When we measure the full ball trajectory and understand all the aerodynamics, it's natural to sort of go back and say, how can you then impact that? You do that by how you deliver the club to the ball. That's how you create the speed, the launch angle, the spin rate, the spin axis. But how you're delivering the club to the ball is a result of how you are swinging the golf club. So it's a completely natural thing is to look at how the body is moving, your body segments, in order to achieve what you want. It's also historically, coaches have been looking at how you are swinging the golf club. They used to do that with their eyes. Then came video analysis. Now, when we now have measurements with 3D motion analysis, that's so much more powerful than just seeing with your eyes.
Like David said, we think where indoor golf is going over the next 5 to 10 years, we really want to lean into the right technology again. We went out over this stuff. It was really cool to see. The body sequencing is really developed, to be quite frankly, right now for coaches. So coaches that understand biomechanics and how to use your body and optimize your swing, that's what it's for. I wouldn't necessarily say it's for your amateur golfer to just walk in and use it right away.
When Trackman started 22 years ago, we were all focused about tracking the ball. Where did the ball actually end up? The carry point was the #1 point that we wanted to track. The next chapter in Trackman happened when we started actually measuring the club. The attack angle, the club path, your face angle, the dynamic loft, and also the impact location. Where will this end? What is the next step of this? One of the things that we'll be spending a lot of time on now is making sure we fully understand the link between your body motion to the club delivery. Once you understand something, there's always this next level. And Trackman is committed to stay at the forefront of using technology to help us to become better players.
Type of peripherals that you can actually add to their technology really is limitless. So it doesn't have to be just an iPhone, it doesn't have to be your standard 1080p cameras. You can go 4K with really, really great lenses and see like it's a mirror. I mean, I was shocked by how clear the image was and how well it translated from the Trackman radar and video capture to playback. It was pretty phenomenal. The other things that are coming out that you've probably seen is more of the augmented components of what indoor golf is going to look like. Let's be very clear, indoor golf should never replace outdoor golf. Really, indoor golf is to supplement, to add, and to enhance what your outdoor game is going to be. That's probably the biggest question that we get asked is, so are you guys looking to replace outdoor golf? And the answer is absolutely not. What we want to do is we want to get better when we can practice. One of the reasons we started Launch Labs Golf is because we couldn't practice when the range was open, and we can't golf during our 9 to 5 because, well, we're working. And I think most people fall into that bucket. But what happens with indoor golf, probably the second biggest question is, well, what about real conditions, right? There's no lies, there's no above your feet or below your feet or tilting your body. That happens in real golf. Very few places are you playing flat all the time.
I wish they were though.
Yes, 100%. And I would love to make the excuse that the feet above or below my ball is why I don't strike it well. But there's really, really great technology coming out, and one of Trackman's new partners is called Platform Golf. And they're augmenting what indoor golf is going to transition to, what we believe is going to be taking indoor golf to the next level. So Platform Golf is kind of what you expect it to be. It's a platform, and they have different engines underneath the platform that will actually mimic above and below your feet in different tilts. So we've seen some of this from companies like GolfZon, who makes amazing technology for that augmented lie scenario. You guys probably saw some of their really cool stuff with their, hit the ball into the
City
screen,
golf, yeah.
And then the screen goes up, and then you walk onto the actual green itself, and very, very much mimics a TGL feel. Well, the Platform Golf will do that as well, and they are partnering directly with Trackman. So everything that we have here behind us in our location, we can now add a platform golf platform to our bays as well, and we look forward to doing that at some point. Platform, if you're listening, we're available to help test.
Happy to help.
Happy to help. So really, really cool stuff. Not only are they changing how you're going to hit above and below your feet, but they're also adding putting scenarios as well. So when we talk about what you can do really from tee to green, they are looking to complete that entire cycle. So we're really excited about that. You got to talk a little bit about Platform with their...
there's the CEO, I think, he actually used to be Brooks Koepka's manager, so small world in golf apparently. But no, the technology was super cool. One of the things that we always look into is what we can integrate our platform and solution with, so they seem to be very robust in regards to that side of things. One of the things about the Platform Golf piece itself is, like Dale mentioned, is the ability to get those uneven lies, get that different type of feel versus just hitting on a flat surface all the time. I think this has really enhanced like our tournaments and leagues and whatnot, so you can actually add in putting to the mix, where right now you could do it, but it's all flat surface inside a sim bay for the most part, most anywhere you go. But the Platform Golf, you can now get that actual experience of seeing the ball break left to right, right to left, etc. And then also get that practice on your lies, like if you're playing an uphill or downhill. I know people talk about Augusta all the time, not in Trackman, not anywhere to be honest, but everybody talks about playing Augusta, and it's not flat anywhere. So being able to kind of help mimic that in a sim environment, I think will be a really cool piece. And I think the technology, the price points will get there in the next 3 to 5 years, and hope something we can provide for our members.
Yeah. What do you call the motors?
Actuators?
Actuators. Yes, and also another thing is how they're leveraging their actuator technology, because for us, one of the things we ask is, what happens if something goes wrong, or what happens if a ball gets underneath? They have that all figured out to make sure it's the safest and the most robust as possible. So the actuator technology was actually very cool and very quiet. That's the other thing that people were asking about, is how loud is it? And they were moving it, and you can actually set settings. So for junior golfers, it doesn't change as much, and then you can go all the way up for the pros. I was literally, I looked like Camilo Villegas, like listen, like on the green, down, listening for the actuator. It was super, super quiet.
Yeah, and if you're playing a course, it's pretty quick too. I think it's like you hit a shot and then it moves and repurposes itself in like less than 10 seconds. So by the time you go over, pick your next club, pick your distance, and kind of figure out where you're gonna aim, the platform is already set up for your next shot.
Yeah, that was a question we asked specifically is, well, because it moves and you have to wait for it to move, how much more time does that add to your round of golf indoors? Because if you play around in Trackman and you're used to it, solo golf, you could probably get through a round in 35 minutes, maybe 45 at the most once you really get used to it. When I asked that question, they said, well, how long does it take, to your point, David, to grab a club from your bag? And I said, I don't know, a few seconds. And he said, by the time you grab your club and walk back to hit your ball, the platform will be set for your next shot. So it's not going to add any time, not going to slow you down at all. So pretty cool technology between Trackman, who obviously we love, and Platform Golf coming out to augment your experience indoors.
So one of the big things we were looking for at the show was, again, trying to find training aids and devices that are going to be low friction to use, self-explanatory, and actually effective. So one of the things that we saw in one of the brands we went to was Golf. They had a number of different products, and a couple products we actually go forward with and have here now at the facility. Two of them are kind of pressure plates. So one is for full swing. It's almost like a surfboard almost, probably, I don't know, 2 feet long, and basically you get the feel of, making sure when you're going through your backswing, your pressure is on your back foot, and then be able to release that to your front foot as you actually go to impact the ball. Really, really cool, kind of just get that feel that you don't get, again, standing on flat ground, and it kind of helps reiterate that. The other one, it was a chipping device. That chipping device, again, is kind of the opposite. And look at Dan, he's actually got him here. So on the chipping device, your weight is going to be more on the left foot versus the right. It's going to make sure you have that right stance. So you're kind of, more of a narrow stance versus a wide stance on your practicing your chipping. So again, it's kind of giving you that kind of feel of what it's supposed to be like to enhance and hit more flush shots. The other cool thing that I know we should have gotten, but we didn't get, we talked about it.
I told him to get it like 10 times.
I know. I'm probably gonna get it anyways. Is they have this cool, I don't even know what it's called. We should probably check it out. But it goes on your wrist, and what it does is it makes you get your flexion of your wrist on your backswing, and it's gonna give you some audible feedback. So the first time I put it on, it was like, hey, kind of take your natural, just even without a club, you kind of take your hands back and you're like, oh, I didn't hear anything click, because you're not doing it right. So what you actually want to do is, get that flexion in your wrist on your trail hand, I guess, which is my right hand for me. Now you're getting audible feedback of what that backswing should feel like, and then as you come through, you'll hear the reverse audible click when it releases. And they have different settings for the degree of angle that your wrist should be at. They have it for putting, for chipping. It was a really cool device. It was like less than $100. I've honestly, again, I've tried some other ones that are out there that are actually a lot more expensive that I felt weren't as good. And I wish I could return that one. I won't name who they are, but this one was a lot more effective in terms of the audible feedback for me anyways. I think for Daniel as well. And I think it's a really cool device. Again, it's not something, this one we probably want to have available for people just lying around for members, because it's like literally on your hand and probably not the best for like sharing. But definitely go check it out. It's called the Wrist X over at Golf.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was another company I really wanted to check out as well called Golf Forever. And you might have seen some of their stuff on Instagram. Scotty uses a ton of their stuff. But basically, hopefully somewhere on this video, I've got an overlay happening showing some of their products. But really it comes down to functional movements with your body surrounding golf movements. So I used to, work on compound lifts and power lifts and things like that to get really strong, but those aren't really functional for the body. It's probably why my thoracic spine mobility is so limited, so I'm going to be working on that. But a lot of the functional movement and golf-specific moves for strength and mobility is really key. I'm sure we've all heard stories about walking up to the course, especially right now when it's winter, you know, 2 minutes before your tee time, you didn't stretch, you didn't foam roll, you didn't hit any balls.
Sounds like a bad round.
Sounds like a terrible round, and usually gets worse when someone pulls a muscle in their back.
Perfect.
Or
bring out the Advil.
Yeah, that's just terrible. And again, for us, we're not a training center, nor will we be, we really don't have plans to be that. But again, what we do want to provide as we continue to grow and iterate as a business is to give our members, again, frictionless things that are easy to use, simple to use so they can warm up, they can get loose. Because even when you come to a indoor golf sim, you still might be running late and you just want to start hitting balls. That's kind of our nature. Or if we hopefully have the ability to show up 5, 10, 15 minutes early, start to warm our body up with different moves, using bands, different tools. So Forever Golf, another great company to go check out. Reminder, we're not sponsored by any of these companies. We're just two guys trying to bring unbiased perspective from what we saw at the PGA Show. But again, if you guys are listening, we're available. There's a lot of really cool brands out there, and so many for us to have covered over, I don't even know how many square feet or acres of convention center.
I think there was 1,200 exhibitors, plus or minus. I'd probably say half of them were retail brands selling apparel or gear, and yeah, it was definitely a lot.
It was a lot. We got to the second day and we were walking, and we had probably been walking up and down the aisles for a couple hours, and we both realized almost at the same time where he said, we haven't even got to the apparel. We hadn't even got to the brands, and we're like, holy cow, this is gonna be a long day. It's gonna be awesome, but it's gonna be a long day. It's like walking around Disneyland or Disney World. You're taking 30,000 steps a day, and no churros to take the edge off. So
definitely no churros. But apparently there's a Chick-fil-A in the Orange County Convention Center that we didn't know. So next time we are at the PGA Show, definitely gonna hit that one up.
Yes, so learned a lot, including where to eat during the breaks or when we're walking. So that was pretty cool. But we did get to see some really cool brands. One of them is a company called Caddywrap. We actually got to see the shafts get wrapped in this, kind of plastic material, if you will, but they looked awesome. So if you're looking for a way, I know a lot of golfers are always trying to customize their look, whether it's by their fit, their hat, their shoes, the type of golf clubs. They're always trying to personalize something, obviously stamping wedges and putters as well. But Caddywrap's a really simple way to wrap your shafts in different patterns and looks, and you can DIY it. We actually saw the founder wrap a shaft in, I don't know, less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was like 3 minutes. It's literally, they send you a box that's the length of, a little bit less length of any club. You stick your club inside after you put the wrap on it, so it's kind of out of its natural state. You put a hairdryer on the end of the box, turn it on, and then it basically shrink wraps that design to your shaft. So really cool. We think it's, there's a lot of folks out there, like Dan mentioned, who want to customize their look and feel of their fit or their irons or their clubs or anything else golf related. It is a really inexpensive, easy way to do that. That's super unique that I had never seen before.
Yeah, pretty fun. Will we offer it? Not necessarily here, but we will tell our members about it because it's a pretty cool thing. And loved meeting the founder. He was a patent attorney before this, but clearly very, very gifted, very artistic in creating something like this, and we thought it was pretty cool. A couple other brands that I think are a little bit more well-known, but really for us, established to us that they are really fantastic brands. Those brands are Ghost Golf and Pins and Aces. We walked by the Ghost Golf booth, walked in, immediately were greeted with just a lot of, honestly, high fives and smiles and just saying, hey, what can we do to help? You guys heard of us? And we said, yeah, we both have your towels on our bags. We have a towel at our club washing station here in our facility, and we give them away all the time. So Ghost Golf, if you ever want to sponsor one of our tournaments or leagues or anything as a giveaway, we're here. But we love what they have. Their bags were legit. They were super awesome. The quality again, you don't always get to see the product in person. A lot of the products that you see on Instagram and social are direct to the consumer. So there aren't a lot of showrooms, if you will. There's not a lot of try and buy. And we walked in and we were so pleasantly surprised by the continued quality, the consistent quality, no matter what the products were, whether it was the towels, whether it was the bags, whether it was head covers, and other accessories that they had. And they had some really sweet designs. So if you haven't checked them out or it's been a while, I would definitely check out Ghost Golf.
Yeah, if you like Top Gun or that bomber look, dude, they have some really cool looking gear, so definitely go check them out. Other one that we checked out was Pins and Aces. Again, really creative brand, a lot of cool head covers, different swag items. They actually hooked us up once on our grand opening with a gift card to give away, so thank you Pins and Aces, and it was actually great to meet some of the folks who were involved with that. But yeah, just another really cool brand that was cool to see in person, because again, you don't really get to see them in stores that often or see the breadth of their portfolio all in one place.
Yeah, and that booth was one of the busiest booths that we had seen. Pins and Aces was it was jamming. It was a cool setup. They had a ton of bags on the wall. They had a lot of their apparel coming out. I've got probably 3 or 4 of their shirts. My brother-in-law, who really put me on, has, I don't know, I think he's bought 3 bags for them. I don't even know how many head covers he has. I don't even know how many hats he has. He has a ton. But getting to meet the team there and again, seeing it in person, because a lot of it is direct to consumer, was really fun to see, and pretty exciting to see the excitement around it as well, because it wasn't just hype, right? We can create a bunch of hype on social, make it seem like it's awesome. The feedback around the booth and in the booth was pretty extraordinary, really exciting for us to see and for us to just walk through and be a small part of it as as attendees of the show. Another thing that I think everyone's trying to do, and we hope they do, right, us included, is trying to find your vibe, trying to find who you are as a business, as a golf studio, as a golf facility, whether it's a country club, whether it's an indoor facility, whatever that might be. And one of the things that we're working on is trying to continue to iterate on our look and feel. Richman Sports, they put out some amazing art collections. Really great graphics. They've been doing some phenomenal stuff with their hats, so don't be shocked if you see some of their hats. I'm a big hat guy, so you'll probably see a lot of hats on me, but they've been doing a lot of stuff with headwear as well. We've got some areas here in the facility that you can't see on camera that we are looking to spruce up and again, put our feel, put our personality and our brand in what we align with, and Richmond Sports was one of them.
Yeah, they're really cool to talk to and get to meet with, super friendly. Like Daniel mentioned, their gear, and for me, the art pieces were really fantastic. And I know we've looked at them online a couple times as well, trying to figure out what will actually look good in the space. So I think it's pretty safe to say we'll be working with them in the future. I just want to let everybody else know about them as well. Yeah,
so check it out. Again, not sponsored, wouldn't mind it, but again, unbiased. Check out these brands, pretty phenomenal. They caught our eye. They really established themselves as strong brands for us to continue to follow and support through their journey and through our journey as well.
Yep. All right, we're coming to the end here. I think, like we just mentioned, the brands were kind of what we kind of finished off the show with, just based off of where we started and literally walked aisle to aisle, and the brands were just on the other side. So if we had started on the other side, maybe this video would have been in a different order, but one of the things we wanted to highlight was, just like us, we're a brand new brand. Hopefully one day we're at the show kind of showcasing, stuff that we have, whether it be, we go into retail, we go into that type of scenario, we go into software, but, it'd be cool to kind of represent ourselves as Launch Labs Golf. But one of the things we wanted to do was, there are a lot of brands that were kind of making their name at the moment, and there's definitely a ton of those. There's obviously the big brands, but there are also hundreds of small brands that you may or may not have seen before. And we just want to take a moment to kind of highlight some of those that really popped to our eye. They were great to connect with, talk to, super friendly as well, and had a great vibe. So Daniel, I'll kind of toss it over to you.
Yeah, so one of the areas that we really want to focus on is the female golfer. We're both married, we both have wives that want to participate in the game, and they wanted to find different styles that felt, you know, traditional but different, right? Not too sporty, not too athleisure wear, but something that really gave alignment to their personality. And the brand that we came across was named Ellsworth Ivey. They had some, hopefully again on this video, I'll have some screenshots up here. They had some great pieces that really, for us, spoke to us and said, man, we think our wives would really like this. We think, you know, our sister-in-laws would really like this. We think our nieces would really like this. And we took a bunch of photos and we sent it to them, and the feedback was unanimous. They were really excited to see a brand that wasn't overly luxury, overly athleisure wear, looked really comfortable, and us touching the material and fabric, and again, being able to see and feel these pieces was really important to us. And we loved what we saw. And again, working with good humans, that booth, that team was super welcoming to us, knowing that we were a new upstart.
Dudes, yeah.
Who are these two guys walking into, you know, this boutique booth that doesn't have any male athleisure wear or gear, but it was really fun to see. And they are easy to work with. We are hoping to partner with them and make some orders and showcase some of their material and their merch in our stores, and hopefully also on our social, to support brands that, again, that we love and got a really good feel for, and moving forward from there.
The next one was, I call it WAAC, but I'm blanking here in my head.
Oh yeah, it's Win at All Costs.
Win at All Costs. And actually, they commented on my Instagram post, so I'll chalk that up for a win for me. But anyways, they have, the thing that spoke to me the most was their mascot. And again, we've probably seen the back here. It was just the coolest little thing. This little like devil kind of head cover piece that was, you know, I think everybody, you know, who walked by that booth definitely kind of turned your head, because it was definitely that type of, you know, kind of this eye grabber. The materials they have are super soft. I'm definitely going to be picking up a couple items from them. But yeah, their colorways, just kind of how they played with their logo, their WAAC, and how they kind of mixed that into their design patterns, and then how they had the little their little mascot character kind of embedded into their designs as well, kind of undercover, kind of sneakily in there. I thought it was really cool, and kind of how they were pulling that off, and hopefully be able to see them in some stores locally. If not, definitely gonna be buying stuff off their website.
Yeah, and for me, they're a Korean brand, so that aligns very well for me, and I love seeing that representation. I think one really, really great thing that we got to see a lot of was the representation around the show. And Win at All Costs, obviously for me, definitely spoke to David, who isn't Korean.
Not Korean, nope, 0%. Oh, I mean, yeah, 0%.
Yeah, 0%. But it spoke to both of us, and that was really exciting. And we both walked away from speaking with them and seeing and feeling their apparel, going, okay, so as we grow, how do we incorporate Win at All Costs into our brand as well, and how we showcase to our golf community.
Next brand we saw was Lynx and Kings. So this was one of the booths where you kind of just walk by and you're like, it just smells good, right? It's just leather everywhere. And, you know, kind of just seeing their, you know, the shoes, the bags, the gear, just kind of that elevated kind of look and feel. Again, kind of different than you see some of the other brands, which is, it's totally okay, but it just kind of spoke to Dale and I as like, man, it's kind of, it gives you that feel of like, this is just well made. It's got a really nice feel to it, great leather. And it's kind of give you that kind of, you carrying it bag around, it's like, yeah, my bit's good for the day.
Yeah, and I would say best smelling booth of the show.
Easily.
I mean, this place smelled incredible of quality leather, but really cool stuff. A little bit more on the traditional side, but a little bit of a flair that made you feel incredibly unique, and was a really, really powerful brand as we walked away from it. The next brand, they were actually off to the side, basically just with like a table. And I remember walking and going, oh no, I gotta see this. And Dave was like, what is this? And they actually started more with basketball and now have gone into golf. So you're gonna see a lot more golf with this brand called Brand Scene. And they have this new tagline that they've been using. And right now it's, sorry, I was, and whatever it is. But for us, it's, sorry, I was golfing, in this really cool script form. Again, personalize it, get the colorway, definitely the vibe and the feel around representing yourself, how you feel that day was really cool. You're gonna see a lot more of them around the NBA. You're gonna see a lot more of them, a ton this year around the PGA, and they're also getting into the NFL. But if you want something cool, something super vibey, something different, I would definitely check out Brand Scene. Sorry, I was golfing.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna see them at the All-Star game too, like Daniel mentioned. I've already seen, some of their social stuff, and they're already all over the All-Star game at the NBA. So, really, really cool stuff, really unique, and I think it's definitely a brand that's gonna blow up. So, glad we were able to see them when they had a small booth. Because next year it's probably gonna be 5x that.
We hope you liked our very first edition of our PGA Show recap. There was a ton of information that came out during and immediately following the PGA Show. I'm sure every one of your favorite golf influencers had some type of video or comment or feedback about that. Obviously, we're not influencers, but we do want to share our view, our unbiased view of what we saw, what spoke to us, what we thought was cool around technology, around training aids, and around cool brands that we really like. So we hope you enjoyed our first video around this. What else, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, I hope, like Dan mentioned, some of the stuff our members will see here at Long Shots Golf, and those other brands that we've seen, definitely keep an eye out for them. Go check out their websites. Again, we're not affiliated with them at all. There are some that we maybe hopefully someday will, but who knows? But go check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. There was a tons more, but these, like Daniel mentioned, these are the ones that spoke to us the most. And yeah, we look forward to doing a little bit more of this. Obviously, look forward to going to the PGA Show again next year. And it's continuing on building our brand here in the Bay Area.
Yeah. So what's next for Launch Labs Golf after this video and all of the brands and all of the things that we showed and talked about? We'll hopefully follow-up videos. So we've already got some cool stuff that we're trying to produce to share with you all, again, unbiased, but we want to make sure that not only do we give you the highlights, but if we can get our hands on this stuff and actually test it, feel it, wear it, play with it, we want to give you that feedback. So be ready for some of those follow-up videos, hopefully over the next, over the month of February. So look forward to that. Thanks for joining us on this crazy journey with all you other crazy golfers. If you need anything from us, please hit us up, message us, comment, let us know what we can do to help. And definitely, if you're in the Bay Area, reach out to us, come say hi. And hey, Bay Area brands, we're looking forward to working with you all as well. We've got some stuff that we've ordered that we're looking to review too. So appreciate it, much love. Thanks everyone.
Thanks guys.